You kidnapped him. It's legal to a slave. No, to slave officer, you do it, but it's illegal to kidnap. So I'm saying, really, kidnap victim is the same shit. A kidnap victim, right? You mean everybody else? You know. Hey, Mike, what? A kidnap victim. You wouldn't be standing up there with false officers. Uh-oh. Hold on, man. We're gonna get that shit there, yo. It's now. Proof right now. That proof right there. Proof got shit to do with him. Proof. Yeah, dog. All I'm trying to bring it out. Let's deal with that piece right there. Y'all know this. Really nah. I would say you never saw it coming, but I know you snakes have seen it coming. Ain't it something like who that waking niggas up? Y'all know far kind up for some, gotta love them, yeah, that's the chief. We the soldiers in the streets, so get acquainted with the team. You all in your feelings, you demons, I know it, cause these are movements you don't like to see. It's all scared of my power, and you hate that, you don't like that, like the hell with my power. And that top spot that you sitting in, yeah, we know that's ours. So we on that, yeah, we want that, yeah, that's wrong, that's ours. Oh, the power that we sitting on, our power we been sleeping on. You knew we had it all along. But now we know. So now it's man, I could be knocking with the chopper. I could. A mega Evers know the king. Give me if I die today, call the doctor. Martin Luther, this the revolution. This apocalypse was a doctor. You probably never hear my words. Most likely conspired just to pop me. The power I know that it's God like. Oh, why the good, yeah, that's God right. D to the evil, who y'all like? Really, brother, is you ready for it? Baltimore like the Canaan North. The root of ignorant is ignored. Who could justify what we ride for? The same land that we dying for. Forget the news, use the eyes more. You the taxidermists, we the animals. We seen it coming, I ain't panic so. Black with time to your cantaloupe. Are you the lion or are you the antelope? I know it's there, I can smell it. What the cops said, now you're yelling. Ain't no guns or drugs in the car, brother. Trying to make it home by 11. I ain't even lying to you. You a rap star with some fine to you. Taking chains with some shine to you. If I lock you up with some mind to you. Everything serving is black skin. Let me ask what's my mind to you. Cause I ain't hurting nobody. Behind the badge y'all hiding. I know. And I know. That you're scared of my power. And you hate that, you don't like that, like the hell with my power. And that top spot that you sitting in, yeah, we know that's ours. So we on that, yeah, we want that, yeah, that's wrong, that's ours. Oh, the power that we're sitting on, our power we been sleeping on. You knew we had it all along, but now we know. So now I know y'all plotting on us, know y'all trying to get us social engineering. Keep us divided and keep us distracted, cause y'all know together we seeking vision. Ooh, they said talk when y'all sit and listen, y'all gon' get the trippin', get the cringing. Y'all used to them pussy for niggas, but they ain't no pussy in us. That's for women. We the men they try and break down, make us scared of them, knock our face down. Make our women disrespect us, cause she know if they can break us, they can break her down. But now this ain't the type of generation, it's that generation that's gon' get it done. We was born for the day and age, silly, we the same children that's gon' have you running. It's something about us, I know you notice. Master can't stop us, he can't control us. They say that we rebels and problem children, cause we just won't listen to Uncle Ruckus. Miss me with that shit, we train to go like a militia. We on a mission, moving around if you not with it. This business ain't got no hard feelings, you know. I just ain't got no time for pussy cats scared of my vision and think I'm wild. Fearlessness look like insanity to a coward. Yeah, my teacher, he taught me about you. I'm so ready for this venture. I signed up for this, read the description. They say you know you probably die, right? I said put me on the list. I know that you're scared of my power, and you hate that, you don't like that, like the hell with my power. And that top spot that you sitting in, yeah, we know that's ours. So we on that, yeah, we want that, yeah, that's wrong, that's ours. Oh, the power that we sitting on, our power we been sleeping on. You knew we had it all along, but now we know, so now it's on. Yeah. GC. You know. Hey, Pyro. Let's do it to him. One time. Yeah. I tell him I'm on my grind. Just trying to get shit in line. Taking time to rush to play with fire. The best is all you desire. Take your time. I got it though. Don't trip, I'ma handle mine. I got mine. I got it, bro. happen overnight. I'm working this basic as 9 to 5. Trying to make time for mine. Passion, it seems like the time just flies. But I work with the time I got. They doubt me, they think I've been slipping. Cause the shit I still late, let them witness. You see when I'm done paying up the damn picture. But right now, it's none of your business. I used to be quick to go tell everybody though. Then I switched up and kept everything quiet and told them just wait on the audio. If you ain't had nothing to do with it, then tell me why I'm supposed to tell you what I be on. You gon' find out soon enough, just wait up on me. Y'all be nosy, y'all be plotting though. And I know y'all goofy trying to stop me though. But look, I got true goals. You got a fool's goal. Something like fool's gold. You moving pies, right? Right, that's a fool's goal. But do you? They tell me I'm too cool. Cause I peep the facade that they put up like YouTube. It's the back like it's all cool. I don't shoot cause I know you. I just tell them I'm on my grind. Just trying to get shit in line. Taking time, no rushes to play with fire. If the best is all you desire, take your time. I got it though. Don't trip, I'ma handle mine. I got mine, I got it, bro. This shit here don't happen overnight. I keep grinding. Gotta hustle even when I get tired. So I keep grinding. I know I'm not the only one that's trying to keep shining. I gotta keep grinding. I know people trying to take my spot and whatnot. Facade up on my name, need the game that they play. When you trying to be great, people hate it. Don't let me keep grinding. I don't know where to begin. I just got a call from Big Reefer. He working and he way out there in the men. GC out here plotting, they watching. I pop him if they come too close to the man. I'm working, I'm grinding, I'm shining, they hating it. I'm getting too close to the band. No true friends. Run up in your city like I run that shit. Fiends and feds watching, bring the funds back quick. I'm sitting and listening to their ideas like, why yes? Knowing I've already done that shit. It's too late. Homie, I've been writing hit straight today. You can get your wish lit, no two-pay. Push kick shit, Lupe. I've been on my grind, 2 skates. Looking in the eyes of the haters like, got it. Gotta keep my eyes on my circle. When you getting this big, no, you gotta watch it. And that's just how it go. Got a backpack full of rap stack, go like rat tat, like a black gat, take your ass down. Better back this flow here, go like black, be a liable to make it last time. I'm just young, grinding and I'm winning, shining in the winter. And I wish a nigga would, but they ain't really trying to get a splinter. I'm trying to get it, I gotta change the way I'm living. All this been on my mind. No sleep, that's for the week. And all along, you know I've been on my grind. I just tell them I'm on my grind. Just trying to get shit in line, taking time. No rushes to play with fire. If the best is all you desire, take your time. I got it though. Don't trip, I'ma handle mine. I got mine, I got it, bro. This shit here don't happen overnight. I keep grinding. Gotta hustle even when I get tired. So I keep grinding. I know I'm not the only one that's trying to keep shining. I gotta keep grinding. I know people trying to take my spot and whatnot. Facade up on my name, need the game that they play. When you trying to be great, people hate it, don't fade. Got a call from my bro Mike. He be boxing, but he packed up and told me he moving to Cali for his boxing. I told him I got him. Just know I'm behind him. Hey, go do your thing. I walk you up to the ring. Only you can stop you. If the hell with who got you, just know that I got you. Got a call from my bro Tyler. He used to be boxing, but he packed up and told me he moving to Nashville and going to college. He told me now he got a love for the people. It's stronger than boxing. And after he joined the nation, he felt like teaching was his calling. Like I told him I got him. As long as we grinding, I ain't got no problem. The bros in my circle, we moving in silence. We still at the bottom. Ain't no time for sitting around. It ain't no handouts when we out here. Ain't no money on trees when we out here. Man, this shit don't come easy when out here. Tino told me you wanna go get it, cause life it ain't throwing no freebies up out here. You know, I tell him I know I'm dope, and soon that I'm gonna be on. Like how you know, cause work for me is like drugs that I can't seem to overdose, you know. I hustle when I feel like turning over. I'm used to only being around soldiers, and I know they wanna see me lose focus. That's why I wrote this, just to tell them I'm on my grind. Just trying to get shit in line, taking time, no rushes to play with fire. If the best is all you desire, take your time. I got it though. Don't trip, I'ma handle mine. I got mine, I got it, bro. This shit here don't happen overnight. I keep grinding. I gotta hustle even when I get tired. So I keep grinding. I know I'm not the only one that's trying to keep shining. Look, I keep grinding. I know people trying to take my spot and whatnot, but sort of on my name, the game that they play. When you trying to be great, people hate it. Don't faze me, keep grinding.
What's good, fam? This is Jobs, and you are tuned into My Skin is My Sin on Blog Talk Radio. From goons to guys, we welcome everyone. We only got one rule, and that's be respectful. Hold on 1 second. Let me get the Queen Alfie in the building. What's good, Queen?
Hello. What's good with you?
I woke up, I guess. That's a good thing. That helps.
Oh, man. I gave you my brand new salutation, and that's all I get.
That's all I got. You know,
Oh,
sometimes it be like that.
it gets better. It gets better.
It happens. It does. You know, it's the ebbs and flow. The what is it? The ebb and flow of life. I think that's how you say it. Y'all get the point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, should be a nice little show tonight. Got Captain Tazaryach on tonight. That's pretty dope. Y'all know we typically don't do a show on Tuesdays, but you know, it's my man's. So like, you know, let's make it happen. That's pretty dope.
Mm.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. You know, I complain about a lot of shit. You know, and occasionally I may overlook some of the positive because I feel like it hasn't. You know, my standards haven't been met per se on myself. But
Mm-hmm.
I met some dope ass motherfuckers over the years. That's just some real shit. You know, come across some weirdos too. Not gonna lie, but all in all, you know, even some of the people that I would generally say, yeah, that's a bit much for me. I've learned something from in one shape, fashion, or form.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty dope. You know, so you know, I don't want to make it seem like it's just been the most miserable time of my life. It hasn't. You know, and people that I would have never otherwise even spoken to or seen. And some people I didn't even know who they were beforehand and ended up being a fan of.
You're doing a lot of self-reflecting today. What's going on with you?
I'm old. That's what you do when you get old. You know, sometimes you just opt to talk about it. You know, sometimes you don't. Oh, and my apologies for the little snafu with the YouTube earlier. I had forgot to mute one track, so but I got that fixed pretty quick, so that was pretty dope. And I told him to call up, I don't know, in a couple minutes anyway, because y'all know we don't really talk about shit for the first 15 minutes. Well, at least the 2 or 3 of y'all that listen every week. Shout out to y'all.
The dedicated fans.
Right, you know, to the day ones. You know, shout out to you. Man, did you see the live stream on YouTube?
No, I didn't. Today?
Yeah.
No, you want me to look for it now?
I do. I want your opinion. Like, I came up with like a new background, and like I can, like where I got the flyer, I can alternate that flyer if I choose to do so.
Okay, let me see.
But I'm trying to get something that visually is not too much, but it also, you know, it's not just here, call the number and that's it. You know, a little something visually for people to see that can also keep you entertained. And I can, you know, I'm learning a little bit more about this little program, so that helps.
Like the comic background?
Yeah. I kind of like that.
I mean,
but
I'm an artist. I like it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, dope then. All right, and on that note, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the brother in on the line right now. So without further ado, we got Captain Tazaryach in the queue, man, and definitely appreciate your time and your wisdom, King. I don't need a real big intro for the man. His name speaks for itself. So let's get the King on the line. What's good, man?
What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing?
Oh, we all right, man.
Oh,
you all right over there, bro?
Me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm not too bad. I can't complain
You
too
sound
much.
tired.
A little bit, but I'll be all right. I'm traveling. I'm in the middle of traveling for my job, so but I ain't that tired though. I'll try to wake up. Maybe as we talk, I'll wake up.
I know, man.
Yeah.
It sounded like we called you like 6 in the morning, bro. I felt bad.
Nah, man, I cannot sound that bad, man. I cannot sound that bad, man. I know I don't sound that bad, man. Don't do me like that. 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 No, I'm good, man. I'm woke. I'm ready to rock and roll. I ain't even really had time. I've been sitting in this room because I had got off, so I've been waiting for 2 hours. So I just been sitting in the hotel looking at some stuff on YouTube. So maybe that's why. Maybe boredom, but I ain't super tired or anything like that.
We got you, man. Just fucking with you like we do.
I appreciate
so how's
it.
life, though, bro?
Our life ain't too bad. I got this lecture coming up, which we're gonna talk about. I got a cookout coming up, which I bring up. I've been able to teach class, do my radio show. Which if y'all ever want to come on my radio show, y'all can come on, call in and stuff like that too.
That would be dope.
Yeah, I think it would be. I think we should be able to cross-platform on, with different ones, like me, not just me being on your show, but you guys could come on our show. And, we could talk about things that affect Black people. I think that's the most important thing to me. We actually moved our camp location in Harlem. We used to speak on Lenox Ave. We've now moved closer to where the Apollo is at. It's definitely been a good response from the people and from the crowd. So the past couple of weeks on the street's been real good. So other than that, I mean, I can't really complain.
Okay.
That's what's up. So
yeah,
how long have you been down? Or I'm sorry, how long have you been woke, so to speak?
Since November 29th of 2009. The only reason I know the exact date is because my mother told me. When I started finding out I was kind of like an Israelite or whatever and started turning away from what you would call evil vices, I didn't really take myself serious until November 29th, 2009, which coincidentally I didn't even know or remember that was the day that my father died. I always looked at the day that, I don't know if other people do this, but I always looked at the day that we bury him as he died. So I always used to him being gone in December. But when I was talking to my mother, at the time, and I was having a conversation with her about it, she's the one that pointed out, she was like, this is the day that your father actually passed away. So that kind of stood out a little bit for me. So that's the only reason I remember the date. November 29th, 2009 is when, so from that moment till now is where I am now.
Definitely my condolences.
Oh, man. Listen, I think he was born back already. We believe in reincarnation. I think my nephew is my father. I tell my brother all the time, he looked like my father and everything. So I think that's my father right there. So it's not too bad.
So you believe in reincarnation. Do you think you have a choice as to what you come back as?
Only thing you have a choice is your sex and your race. So if you Black now, you was always Black. If you a man now, you was always a man. If you was white, you was always white. If you was Arab or Chinese, whatever you died as, that's what you come back as far as race goes, as far as sex goes. Other than that, the condition you in is based on, whatever life you might have, lived prior to.
Damn, that's kind of dope right there. I might have to look into that because I want to know if you can retain a couple of memories because I figured about 20 is some people right now that I could really screw over if I came back.
Nah. Well, from a biblical perspective, you don't remember your life from one to the next. From a biblical perspective, there's no remembrance of former things. So anybody saying, yeah, I was Moses back in the day, you got to watch that cat. You know what I mean? Because from a biblical, you don't have that memory. But, we are back into this plane. Your spirit never dies. Your physical, right now, our spirit is attached to a physical body. When we die, the flesh decays, but the spirit lives on and then it's born back into a vessel like that.
That's I've never really thought about it too much like that. I believe in ghosts and shit like that. And that's just I think that mankind just in general we too egotistical to think that we the only essence or being that's out here.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Paul Mooney had the funniest joke about ghosts. You know, Paul Mooney said if there was a such thing as ghosts, black slaves would be fucking white people up right now. That's what Paul Mooney said. So I don't know if I believe. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if I would believe in ghosts, but you know, you can have what you would call spirits or demons or angels, whatever you know anyone prefers to call them. I wouldn't know. I don't know if I would go as far as to say I believe in no ghosts though.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's tomato, I guess. You know, it's kind of the same thing.
Right. It's just
you know?
like the word may be different, but you know the feeling or vibe behind it could be the same.
Yeah, and I don't know, what is it, sleep paralysis? Have you ever experienced that shit? Oh, I had that once, man. It's like the scariest thing I've ever experienced. But you can't
actually, as a kid, as a kid, I remember I thought I was paralyzed for the rest of my life. I woke up, I wasn't even a teenager yet, and I woke up and all I could move was like my neck and like lift my head up, and I started crying like, oh, I'm paralyzed, and I cried myself back to sleep, and then I woke up and I was good. So, but you know, they say that's just a condition, like your body is like, you know, when you go to sleep, you know, your body paralyzes. So I may have the technical term wrong, but when you wake up when you're not supposed to, that's why your body is like that. I know a lot of people think demons be on top of them or something. I'm not one of them. My spirituality only goes so far, so I'm not one that believes that. But
so no
I have
belief in
experienced
demons?
that before.
No belief in angels?
No, I do. I was like, some people believe when you're having that sleep paralysis that you have like a demon or something on top of you. I don't believe that. I do believe in demons and angels, etc., like that. I just don't believe that part. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so do me a favor. As somebody that is just totally unfamiliar with what an Israelite is, break that down for the layman out there, such as myself.
Okay, I mean, it's real easy. Like, being an Israelite means that, okay, you want me to show as far as what we teach, or what does it mean to be an Israelite? Which one? Or do you just want me to explain it?
I want you to dumb it down as much as possible for the idiots such as myself.
Okay, real simple.
Say a young cat is on his way to school. You got about 10 minutes to tell him what the greatness of being an Israelite is to you.
Okay, I mean, if I had 10 minutes and I'm trying to give it to a brother or sister, I would just explain to them. Usually, the easiest way to do it to them is to say, do they believe in the Bible? Most people do, especially being young or whatever like that. And so I'll just tell them, you know, we're the greatest people on the planet. Biblically speaking, the Israelites are the chosen people of God. That's us. The reason why we're in the condition that we are in is because we rejected God. Our salvation is in our service of that God. So there's a code of ethics, or there's a moral compass, or there's laws that was given to us. We keep them laws, we'll get out of the condition that we're in. That's what being an Israelite means. And then we'll get into our proper place, which is rulership. But it starts with the actions that we take. If we just sit around here and do nothing, nothing will happen. But if we do something, then everything will happen. So the guideline that we have is the Bible. We have the laws, statutes, and commandments that we follow, and we adhere to them, we'll be great. We don't adhere to them, we'll be the least in the planet. And then I will explain to them, we have many different nations on the face of the planet, but we're the least. We're the least of everybody. A Vietnamese refugee is greater than us. And of course, when I say us, I'm not talking about like from an individual where you can find some rich black people or something like that. I'm speaking from a nation perspective, not an individual perspective. Mm-hmm.
I got you.
Yeah, so that's how I would present it. Mm-hmm.
I can see that, man. And before we get too far into it, man, tell everybody what you got going on as far as the lectures. Let's jump off into that.
Oh yeah,
and when
man.
And where and how they purchase tickets. I'm sorry to cut you off, King.
Okay, no sweat. You can purchase tickets on Eventbrite.com. The lecture is called the Miseducation Series. A House Divided, The Cure for the Hatred Between Black Men and Black Women. It'll be August 5th. To come in the flesh, it'll be at my school in Harlem, New York, which is 2279 3rd Ave, Harlem, New York. If you want to purchase the tickets, like I said, you could purchase them at the door or you could purchase them on Eventbrite. There's no difference in price. It's just $20 for entry. So it's not like an early price or anything like that. So you can just come in, pay the $20 at the door. There will be a live stream, which I should have completed by the end of this week. For anybody that can't make it or maybe out of town, there'll be a live stream for it. And this is the second of my Miseducation series. My first series was last year when I did the Miseducation of the Black Woman, and that's how I started. And the reason why I use the miseducation portion is because I think the information that we're given is not correct as far as changing our condition. I think we spend too much time on the inconsequential instead of focusing on what really matters. Like when I did the one for the women, a lot of people, I titled it like that on purpose because I knew just from a knee-jerk reaction, it would cause interest, meaning people would say, why is Tazaryach saying we miseducated, we smart, we not stupid, or anything like that. And it really wasn't about disrespecting Black women at all. It was really showing them how great they was. And we kind of got to get out of the notion of tearing down the Black woman. Same thing with the Black man, but this one happened to just be about the Black woman and just showing how like the movements and things that's being pushed on her has not been for her gain, and showing her what she has already gained and how far she has already come and just how to complete that. So when I've seen so much going back and forth between Black men and Black women, I watched this video. I watched this. I watched like I had already came up with the title and the subject matter, but one of the picking points was some sister named Cynthia G. I listened to an interview. I believe it was Cynthia G, Zaza Ali, another brother. I can't remember the brother's name, but he didn't necessarily stand out. And I was listening to them go back and forth, and it just made me realize that a lecture like this is very important because I think we spend too much time between the man and the woman to determine who's better, to make the other one look bad. When really, if the black woman is bad, then the Black man is bad. If the Black man is bad, then the Black woman is bad. Like, it can't be one of us is good and the other one is bad. It really got to be
we need that balance.
We're both good. Yeah, we got to both be good. We can't both be bad, or one can't be. Like, we got to lift each other up. Like we do. So we spend so much time tearing down to make ourselves look good. It's almost like a gender battle that don't need to be a battle. Like, why do I got to beat down a Black woman to make myself look good? Why does a Black woman got to do the same? So that's what made me bring about this lecture, A House Divided. And if you look at the flyer, you see like there's two flyers for the lecture. One has the Black woman and the Black man facing each other arguing, and you see a puppet master in the middle of that, which is the so-called white man. And then the next one is the cure. Then you see a Black man and Black woman embracing each other and loving each other like they're supposed to. And then you have the white man removed out of the equation. Not to say that the white man is the only problem, of course, but we can't let it go unrecognized, the devices that have been put in place by this society to cause us to be at odds with each other. Like, it's not a coincidence that, I'm sorry, if I get too long-winded, just cut me off. Because, I'll get to rambling. So,
have you been guilty of I don't know if promoting the miseducation of Black women is a good way to say it?
Absolutely. I think.
What was your worst transgression, and what did you do to rectify that?
I don't know if I can think of what a worst transgression is, but I think taking advantage of if I had to think of what could be the worst, I would say taking advantage of a Black woman. And then the correction in that is to just stop taking advantage of the black woman. Like, it's very easy to manipulate people, whether it's a man or a woman. And so I would say maybe that's probably the worst transgression I've ever done, was manipulate a woman. So what I've tried not to do is to, manipulate a woman, which I haven't done. Now, what I'm telling you is not something that I've learned like in a year. From, I would say, when the date that I gave, November 29th, 2009, that's when I learned to stop taking advantage. Like, it was almost like a transition, so it's not something that happened overnight, of course, but that's when I started realizing a lot of things that I was doing wrong, and then would go about rectifying them. I would kind of say maybe my completion has been doing lectures. Like, I've been doing lectures since maybe 2014, and with each lecture that I've done has exhibited a certain level of growth, because you learn different information. So when I did integration versus segregation, I learned things. When I did how to share your man, I learned things. When I did the no homo lectures, child molestation lectures, and miseducation lectures, I learned things. So you grow, so you can always improve. But I changed from manipulating women, particularly starting when I came into the truth. That's
some real shit too, man. And that like ruins it for the next couple of guys too, because I too have been guilty of doing that shit, and I have lived long enough to kind of see, oh damn, it does have a fucked up effect on them. You don't think about it when you're younger.
No, you don't think about a lot of things when you're younger, and one thing which is going to be the theme of the lecture itself is the one thing that we don't have as a gender, male or female, of the black man and black woman, is compassion for the other. Like, compassion is something that, we're definitely lacking in the entire black community. And it starts with the man and the woman. Like, that starts with us. Like, we got to own up to the responsibility of failing. Like, when you think about anyone that's a leader or anything like that, and if anybody wants to consider me that, that's fine. I don't necessarily consider myself a leader. I just speak on, what I feel and hope people could gravitate to it. And so we have to accept the responsibility that we fail. And if we can accept the responsibility that we fail, and if we really have compassion or care, then maybe we can say, okay, we failed at this. How can we improve so that it stops? So that's what I hope. That's the most important thing I hope to get out of doing these things, is that, somebody else can join me on it. Whether it's this, even when I did what we do on my radio show, we have a segment where we dedicate once a month to child molestation, where we have callers call into the show. Last week we had we even had predators call into the show last week. We had two brothers call into the show. Yeah, we had two brothers call into the show that not only admitted to them being molested, but then also showed how they became predators themselves. And even though they said it only lasted a little bit, they knew it was wrong. But it was good for that to come out, because that dichotomy got to be addressed too. Like, we got to touch every single aspect that's tearing up the black community. So that's something that we got to
do too.
Mm-hmm.
And the way families will handle that shit, man, is just horrible, man. Like it's like that uncle, you just kind of don't say anything, but he can't be around the kids by himself. Why you let them in now at all?
Right.
We don't want the family to quote unquote look bad, so we'll ruin our kids' lives.
Yeah, that's like, that in like, that's the worst kept secret that's still a secret in the black community when you think about it. The one thing that you can do is molest a child, and the family will protect the predator and not protect the victim. And then it destroys the very fabric that innocency is taken from the child. And then when that child is out stealing or hoeing or killing or drug dealing or drug abusing or something like that, we don't know what's wrong with them. We think they just acting out. We think they just being a bad kid when really they don't know how to let loose the attack that's being put on them. So I think it's something we definitely do. So that's a monthly segment we do now. And it can happen anytime, if any caller calls in and wants to address it. But we've dedicated one show a month to child molestation to deal with that.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of anybody doing that, man. That's very dope and much needed.
Yeah, I think it's important.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Talked about that. We talked about, we've talked about rape. Another thing that's just very under represented in our community, if you ask me.
Right.
And have some survivors call up, and that is it's just a powerful thing to have somebody want to share that much of their being with you. That's pretty dope.
Right. Yeah, and if you think about how much that empowers others, like I originally did it because I've done lectures on it, but then I think it was either the end of May, beginning of June, there was some sisters that started coming out with videos from Dimona, Israel. And I had always heard about these stories about women and men and stuff like that being molested in Israel, and Dimona specifically. I'm talking about black people. And then as these sisters started coming out, I started talking about it then, and we had callers call in and stuff, and that's what made me dedicate it. And on this show, we had the two brothers call, but we also had two sisters call and give their testimony. And then other people have contacted me and want to come on the show and talk about it. And I think it's very empowering to let victims know that you do have a voice. And what I want to try to do, and I'm just waiting to see if I get approval from my school, is to give classes to children where we can, because being that we have a school, we can be open 7 days a week. We dedicate one day where we can have children come in and we can give them lessons and classes on what to look for a sexual predator, what to do if your auntie or your uncle or somebody comes and says something to you. I think those things are necessary too, because it'll open a door. So kids, that's what the uncle say. If you tell, your mama gonna be mad, the family gonna be mad if you tell.
Exactly.
And so they prey on that. So now you teach a kid to scream or cry or tell, uncle won't be protected. And I think, or auntie, because some of them are women too. So I think that's something we need to, bring out. So I'm hoping we can start that soon as well.
That would be very dope, man. Salute to y'all for doing that.
I appreciate that.
Man, y'all put in a lot of work, and that's undeniable. And we do got a caller in the queue, too, if y'all want to get to one right quick. I didn't realize it's almost
that's fine.
minutes already. Yeah.
Yeah, however you want to roll with it, I'm fine.
I think Afi muted herself, my bad. But let's get to 8515 right quick.
I'm here. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to the caller. I'm here.
Oh, no. And before we do that, I forgot to tell y'all, if you do want to call up, the number is 347-855-8692. All you got to do is press 1 to get on air. So on that note, we'll get to 8515. What's good, fam? 8515, you live on the air with Captain Tazaryach.
What's good? It's Dizzle.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
What's going on, bro?
What's up, man?
Man, you in a tunnel or something, bro? You all right?
No, I'm on the track.
What's going on, okay?
I just want to give a shout out, say what's up. Say what's up to Captain Tazaryach. I don't know if
hey, what's going on, brother?
Cool, but I do respect how he moves. I know he's sincere, and he does tackle some serious topics like that molestation and that rape. It's something that we don't speak about. We kind of brush that under the rug, and we can see the results of doing that. So I don't know how we can. Sometimes we have to have these discussions that aren't going to be comfortable.
Right.
We're really going to be able to grow and heal. That's the most important.
Facts.
Right. Yeah, I think it's
shit.
definitely. Yeah, we gotta. It's something that gotta be done. Period. And I think that's more so where I've been kind of geared for a while now. You know, I know I'm known for like debates and stuff like that on the street and stuff. And I'll never stop being on the street, of course. So if any debates happen on the street, that's one thing. But I haven't done a debate in a lecture type of debate or like a bring people in the room. I haven't done a debate since my first debate with Polite, where we actually charge people to come into a room. I've done 6 lectures in that time, though. That's more so what I love to do. Because I think when you do debates, it forces people to choose. When you do a lecture, you can bring some information and forces people to unite. So I would rather do that than a debates. Now, if you do cross the line or something like that, that's different. But I won't charge you to come. Yeah, I would.
I like the debate. I like the debate because, you know what I'm saying? I say it's better than like
I do too.
Should be doing it. At least we're debating over believe, and you know what I'm saying? Even though they get out of hand sometimes, but I enjoy the debate personally.
No, ain't nothing wrong with it. I just don't think we should charge people for it. I think that's something that should just happen. That's just me. Unless it's like, let's say if it's like, now for me, if it's like a Christian pastor or something like that, like a Christian church, I probably would always debate. Bro,
that's who you should be charging. You should be charging them for your time.
Yeah, now that's my point. Like, because Christianity is like the number one enemy to me for black people. So I always will take up that debate. When I'm saying mainly, more so is like in, you know, that whole comedic stuff. You'll never see me do a debate with them. Not no organized one where we charge people.
I'm just a slight disagreement right there because I personally don't think that it's actually Christianity. I think it's some people's belief that somehow you're going to change black people's belief in Christianity. At some point, we got to accept the fact that 85% of us believe in Christianity. That's a moot point, a moot topic, a moot argument. You ain't changing them niggas. Move on outside of that realm.
Well, you know, I was a Christian. And shit, look at me now. So,
right,
I mean,
that's like a religious unicorn. Like that doesn't happen all that often.
It really doesn't.
That was funny as hell. That was funny as hell. But it's not. I'm gonna find a way to use that phrase he just said. A religious unicorn. I'm gonna find a way to use that phrase, man.
That's
but
real.
now, like,
what they do it in the Christianity way anyway. Some people do it like Christianity. Some people do the more shit like Christianity. So at the end of the day,
right?
You know what I'm saying, it's just a repackage. You know,
yeah, for us, like Christianity is something like when you're trying to get everybody to be together and shit. But I think that for right now, like the state of emergency black people is in, we can only deal with us, and that's it. You know, maybe when we get on top or something like that, and we want to start, you know, like Trump, he go over there with the Koreans and shit like that. That's because they running America already. So he can go talk to Mu Peng or whatever his name is, or he can go to China and all that. We can't do none of that. Right now, we got to fix. We damn near need to go block the block, and fix the blocks and fix the conditions we have. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I would agree with that.
So that's what I mean when I say that. So I will debate them, but that's about it.
I think that kind of separates you, like, from a lot of, you know, the view of the average person of the Israelites is like a little, you know, you think that y'all super extremists in everything, and when you chop it up with you, it's like, no, it's just bruh just happen to believe X, Y, and Z. I may believe A, B, and C, but at the end of the day, you know, it's the skin we cased in that bring us together.
Right. Yeah, you got to start there first.
Right.
Man, you know, you better use that religious unicorn again, because you know good and well that the majority of Hebrew Israelites don't have the same disposition that he happens to have on the planet today.
But what about
they don't?
But you could say that about every religion and every person within that religion that for whatever reason has risen to the top. It's something about that person that sets them apart from the normal person in that religion. So, you can say that about Christianity, you can say that about Islam, pick one. It's somebody that has
That's
risen
not just
to the
religion,
top for
though.
whatever
That's
reason.
just called being a good orator. That's just called being a good orator. That doesn't have anything to do with religion.
I beg to differ. I think it's more than just being a good orator too. It's being a good being.
I mean, she kind of got it.
It's how you practicing it.
You can't take her. She got a little bit of a point that I won't take away from her. She's kind of correct. Like there's a lot of Israelite groups, of course, as we know, and they have different practices, if you want to call that. Only thing I'll say about most of the Israelite groups is that our foundation starts with us being Israel and keeping the law. Now, once you go outside those two principles, then of course you can have differences as far as practices or other beliefs of understanding of the Bible. But those two cores initially, they're pretty much uniform. But there are some differences. So I won't. She's not totally incorrect with her statement. I just believe that religions, I'll use that as a blanket term, shouldn't stop us from being able to have a conversation with each other and dealing with each other. And like I always say, having a conversation with you may win me to your side. I may win you to my side. But at the end of the day, we got the same enemy, so I should be able to work with you as long as I don't have to compromise the law of my God. I should be able to do whatever it is that I want to do. I should be able to work with you, deal with you. So I'm an extremist when I'm for my people, but I'm not the extremist where I can't deal with this brother. Oh, he a Christian dude. I can't deal with him. Or he a Muslim. I'm not that dude.
Check this out.
It's almost like
on that note. Hold on 1 second, King. The switchboard is kind of lighting up, so I ain't about to get you off there, Jay. Pause. I'm not about to mute your. I just think about that shit, like, bro, that just didn't sound right, man. I felt uncomfortable.
Oh, that's funny as hell, man. That's funny as hell.
But let me get to 4085, and then we're going to get to 7982. 4085, what's good, fam?
Peace, brother.
What's going on, bro?
It's Brother Amir. It's my first time calling. Glad to be here. A good show so far. Just wanted to give my opinions on a few things that was said.
Hold on.
Hold
on now. You gonna speak to me or not?
Yeah, man. You gotta address everybody, man. Yeah.
My fault. Peace to all.
You got tight about that quickly too.
Yeah, she's like, don't let me go unnoticed out here.
Not my house.
Right. Yeah, peace to the queen. She's the one that forwarded the flyer. So I appreciate that. Like I said, it's my first time listening and some good information. So I thank all y'all for what y'all do. One thing I'd like to commend the brother on Tazaryach is I've heard a few of your debates or lectures. And, from hearing you, like right now, I definitely hear, no disrespect, but I hear the maturity, and I it's a different tone from what I'm used to hearing and seeing or heard about, and I definitely can respect that. And it just brings to mind, my philosophy, who I get from one of my greatest teachers is El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, and as he said back in the day was we all need to come under one umbrella. He said, leave your God at home and let's come under one umbrella. What he called it back in the day was black nationalism. As we all know today, if you call yourself black, somebody may have an issue with that. They say I'm African, or some may say I'm from the tribe of Shabazz, or some may say I'm Hebrew, or some may say I'm Kemetic. So even that term black causes problems. So, whether you want to call it nationalism or Pan-Africanism or whatever, we need to come under one umbrella. And from what I've heard you say tonight, I definitely, it's respectable because, it's not, this is what it is, this is what it is, this is what I believe, and this is what you should believe in. And I think that can get more people to work together, which is what we all need to be doing in our current situation. So I just want to say I respect that. And I think if more people did that from different faiths, different beliefs, I think we would start to see some progress. because, like I said, when it comes to whatever belief system or doctrine that anybody believes in, we all can poke holes in that, or we all can find flaw with it. So one is no better than the other, whether it's Kemetic or, like I said, Nation of Islam, Hebrew, any of that. We all can poke holes in that, but we're in a situation, we're in a predicament that we need to come together and be on the same page, if we really want to get to where we want to be, which is liberated, free, whether we want to say God, kings, whatever. So I commend that. And I just wanted to say, I noticed that difference in the tone, and I respect that. When I initially saw the flyer,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, when I saw the flyer, I was like, oh, this is going to be some of what I've seen in the past, but it's definitely different, and I respect what you're doing, and that's all I wanted to get out there.
Yeah, I appreciate it. If one caveat I could add, I guess the controversy around the things that I say is probably more popular than what I'm saying now, because I've always said this. I've always said, we could sit down and work with, brothers and et cetera like that. I've invited plenty of brothers to work with me. Like I always highlight, 2016, me and Irritated Genie was able to work together. Now he's a Kemetic brother, or at least an African, Pan-Africanist brother. I'm an Israelite brother. We was able to get together, do a rally together. We was able to do a lecture together. We didn't have an issue with our doctrine or belief systems or anything like that. It just went unnoticed because nobody really got behind it like they should have. He and I both believe it was sabotage, and it shouldn't have been. And I think it was sabotage because, like I've said, I just think the conscious community is full of shit as far as caring about real issues. So the controversy about me will always make the headlines. But this stuff I've been saying, I'm glad that the brother allowed me to come on the show, because then brothers like yourself can hear it so they can know what my real agenda is. Like I said, I don't mind battling. I don't. I actually like it to a certain extent. But I love doing this part because teaching or edifying or waking people up is more important than the battle. The battles be, fun, and, you say you this or you say you that. They be cool, but if you can save a brother's life or a sister's life, or stop a sister from getting raped or molested or aborting a child or something like that, turn a brother away from homosexuality or something like that, I'd rather do that than anything else.
Hey, you and Polite are hilarious, though, just a side note.
Yo, Polite, my nigga, though.
You can tell.
This is my last comment. With the debates, I think a lot of our
and
people.
I'm sorry to cut you off, King, but before you get too far, we do got a whole bunch of other callers in the queue, though. But I'm gonna let you get that question.
Okay. All right. It's more of a statement. I'll be real quick. But we got to think the debates are. It's not productive. The debate ain't productive. And I think we need to go more.
I'm never debating again, man. You ain't got to worry. Unless it's a Christian pastor or something, or maybe a Muslim or imam. But
I cannot disagree with you anymore, though. I used to think that same way. But I'm gonna explain to you why I think that debates are productive. When it's produced right, and when you put on a really good show, at the end of the day, it's some 10-year-old out there that watched that shit on YouTube that learned something, that sparked something. Because they make the knowledge entertaining.
That's not what he's saying, though.
That's not what he's saying? I'm reading that wrong?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't you saying that you don't want to debate because you don't want to charge for the knowledge that should be given away for free?
Right. No, I'm not talking about Tazaryach. I'm talking about what the caller said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. For me, I don't want to pay. If I could, Rafat.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
To debate, I don't want to make nobody pay me or pay to see me debate somebody. I would rather. Now, do I want to get paid for a lecture? Yeah, but I think that information is better. I don't think nobody learns nothing in debates. It's about who could really outshine the other in that moment. And then, but when you do lectures and stuff like that, that person that's coming to see that lecture has to sit, look at your PowerPoint, look at the information you're giving. It's attentive. There's nobody coming behind you, so now they got to compare information. They can solely focus on the information that you're giving out at that moment. So maybe it comes from me going to camp every week, and so I debate people on the street every time I'm out in the street. Like last week,
Right.
I'm teaching, and the guy says one thing, and then so I'm used to doing that on the street, so it's different for me maybe than somebody else.
Is there a Q&A portion at the end of your lectures?
Always a Q&A. I'll take questions. Now, what I do like about having my own school now is I don't have a time limit for the Q&A. Like usually I used to pay the venue for a couple of hours, and so I would be limited to how many questions I could take. Being that it's at my school, we'll have a Q&A for however long it takes.
That's dope. That's very dope. And we do appreciate you for calling up too, King, man. And make sure you subscribe to the show on Blog Talk Radio. Huh? And on YouTube. And we are live streaming on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I got it. No, I didn't know that because I wanted to subscribe. I didn't know you did it on.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me. I'm gonna stick around, and after y'all get a few more callers, I'll definitely chime back in.
All right,
I have a couple more questions. So, all right,
no doubt. Peace out. Let me see. Apparently the whole world knows Captain Tazaryach. And before we go any further, I do need to let y'all know y'all tuned in to My Skin is My Sin on Blog Talk Radio from Goons to Gods. We welcome everyone. We only got one rule. And what's that, Afi?
Yeah, what's the rule?
Be respectful.
You slow.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying. You're supposed to be like, bam, bam, bam. It's supposed to be symbiotic. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I would say, you know what? The brother that just called in, I share a little bit of his sentiment. Maybe not I wouldn't have said it the exact same way, but you definitely have a different presence than you had the last time that you came on this platform. So I don't know what was going on.
Y'all was messing with me last time. No, I think y'all was messing with me.
Like, blame that shit on
she came over here starting trouble. I remember you last year starting trouble. It was almost a year ago. Well, you started trouble last year.
I don't start trouble with anybody. Look,
you were starting trouble. You were starting trouble last year.
Who? All right. We're going to get to 7982. Then we got 1391. And it was somebody else in there. I think I might have missed you. I do apologize, but 7982. What's good, fam?
Hello, this is Janae. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
How you doing?
Boss Up Radio Show. I'd like to have you on my show as well. You kind of brought everybody out the woodwork tonight,
Oh, yeah, I'll come on. Just hit me up. You got to give me information.
I share with Joseph. We kind of go back and forth with his show and my show. I share his show. And when I'm on Monday, he share my show too as well.
I'll come on next Monday if you want. Yeah, I'll come on next Monday if you want. That's when you do your show.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.
Okay.
I just wanted to commend you on your maturity from what I'm hearing. I listened to you
I must have been something else, boy.
The world or something like
you was kind of hell. You were hard in the face. But a lot of people like, I don't fuck with him. I said, well, what did he do? What did he say? Right. And then when I listen to you, I'm like, that don't even sound right now. You don't even sound like the same person that these people have painted you out to be.
Well, I guess the only thing I could say is like I know when I never heard of Kemet as what it is. Like I never knew people really followed Egypt like that.
Right.
And then I never knew who Politis none of them was before they came in front of my camp, and this was 2013. So I never knew nothing, and all I knew was they just kept attacking us in the Bible. So my venom could be vicious. I mean, I'll match you. Like, don't get me twisted. As mature as I say I am, if somebody come over here and say something sideways, I have no problem, defending it or what have you. And I just think I think I kind of like left that vibe because I really don't like to be like that. I would prefer to just do the lectures and the teachings, et cetera, like that. So maybe that's why you see a difference.
So let me ask you this though: was that a result of criticisms, or was it just a personal growth thing?
No, it was a result of. If I had to be honest, it was a result of nobody wanting to challenge me anymore. And I would never say you can't mature. Like, even from a biblical perspective, you always study that stuff to be approved. And I would observe certain things from Israelites, whether my school, any other school, whatever like that. And it was not something that I felt represented us properly. And I felt like it needed to change. And so somebody got to do it. So if you're a responsible person, you should see something that's being done wrong and do differently. So if I'm somebody that, right, and so if I'm somebody that people look at, I had said this in one of the videos I was doing with Sadet and them. I said, if we're supposed to be leaders, we have to take the responsibility, because people are going to follow you no matter what. They're going to like you no matter what. Like, people still like Polite even though he robbing them. But people still love Polite. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I would have to agree with that wholeheartedly. The brother still
so now, if you have
off of them.
Right. Like, I'll give a funny story. I was in the airport. I was in Newark Airport one time, and a dude and his wife walked up to me, and they talking to me, introduced themselves as we talking. He said, "Man, you know, Polite got me for $85 like that." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "You still giving money to Polite? You ain't seen the tons of other testimonies of people." Like, so it still amazes me that brothers is still messing with him like that. But now, so like, if you're a leader or you're somebody that people follow, you got to give them something different. So I take my responsibility serious. So if I know I stop doing something, other people will stop doing something. That's why I don't do it. That's why that was like an example why I didn't go to the signing of the awards. That was why I didn't do a lot of things. Yeah, from what I'm told, we won. We did win an award, but I wasn't there. I appreciate it, but
I didn't go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it, but it's not something that I wanted. You know, I don't do this for no award, nor to be in competition with other brothers like that. Like, I wouldn't want to offend them. For me, like, now this is when I will bring my spirituality into place. Like, it would be against the scriptures for me to be accepting an award, to be in competition with other Israelites. Because the scriptures say if we're going to boast, we boast in the Most High. The scriptures say our righteousness has a filthy rag. So I didn't need that. So I didn't want to go. I was hoping everybody listened to that and didn't go. But, you know, they do what they want to do.
And I'm gonna make a quick statement, and then I'm gonna get to. I'm sorry, Queen. I'm gonna let you. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I did have one quick question.
Oh, go ahead.
Every time I want to say something, y'all interrupt me. Okay.
Hey, we could go over here.
I called in to address something that I saw, and somebody brought it to my attention about how you guys feel about African people. Like, something about a little boy that asked you or said something about you were his brother or you were no relation to him or something like that. I think that's kind of what controversial thing that happened, or you was misquoted on saying that you were no relation to this child that was African or something like that.
Well,
I don't know.
Now, this is when me and the sister that's on the show, this is where we got into it last year. So we'll have a better time of it this year. With that young African,
I don't remember us getting into it about anything related to this topic.
Oh,
actually, I'm going to have to throw my vote in the ring, and actually, I will say that Captain Tazaryach is absolutely correct on that one.
Thank you.
I'm just saying. I'm sorry, Queen. But that's what kind of jumped it off the last. That ain't what jumped it off.
Yeah. That's kind of where it kind of.
Okay, but anyway, go ahead and answer this question. Maybe it'll refresh my memory. But I don't
okay.
think that was.
The interview that I had with the young African boy, which was edited on Sanetta's channel, didn't show the whole thing.
I figured that. Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, we don't believe that we're African descent. We believe we're Israelite descent, and we just descend from a different man, so to speak. Africans descend from Ham. We descend from Shem. But me and that young African actually had a good conversation. I actually put up one little snippet of the interview where the point that I was trying to make with Sanetta and the young African, he actually understood, because he said, I'm not going to lie, if you murdered or destroyed my people or sold my people into slavery, I would hate you and your people. So the young African actually understood exactly where I'm coming from. Me and him didn't have no issue or no problem. I think it was just because he was a young boy and I was saying we're not the same and I wouldn't join myself to him. I think that's what made everybody feel some kind of way. If he was a grown African man, I don't think nobody would have had as much of an issue with it as they did, being that he was a young African man. But I didn't look at it no different than as if that was a young white boy or old white man, it would have been the same thing. Like I'm not gonna separate my beliefs. And this one, I was saying earlier, am I an extremist as far as my people? I absolutely am. And so that was the point
no
of
comment too, bro. Like you kind of know, like you savvy enough, bro, to know what.
Maybe now, maybe that's that level of maturity I was talking about. Maybe now today, if somebody like you see how I'm kind of like not really going so hard at it.
Exactly.
So if you want to say that's a level of maturity there, then that's fine. I just don't feel a need to constantly. I think people know where I stand as far as us not being African. I don't have to beat that down. I don't have to, scream that all the time.
I think as the conscious community grows as a whole, you know what I mean, without everybody being so confused, we're adapting and adjusting to the way that different people approach, situations like that. Because clearly you can look at them and look at us and tell it's a difference. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference, regardless of whatever.
I don't agree with that. There's tons of different tribes of people who if you sit them next to an American black person, you wouldn't be able to tell a difference.
No, I'm saying like it's a difference between African and Africa.
I'm glad I ain't say nothing. I'm glad I ain't say nothing.
Different tribes in Africa that have no relation to each other.
On that note, though, I do got another caller I got to get to. I want to make sure that all the people get heard tonight. And the switchboard is picked up.
But I'm going to be heard, okay?
I'm not trying to silence you, Queen, at all. It is strictly time management. I want to make sure that I get all of these little blue question marks off the board so everybody can salute the king.
All right, I'll call in another day. I'll inbox you.
I definitely appreciate
information. I'll still do the show. Yeah, I'll definitely do the show with you, though. Just hit me up.
Okay, that's fine. I got more information.
If you want to inbox one of us your information and we can forward it on to him to make it a little bit easier.
I would definitely do that.
It'll be an easier transition.
We stay in constant contact. It's cool. I'm good.
Yeah, just hit me up and I'll text you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Right, peace,
Thank you.
Thank you for calling
in. Take it easy.
No problem.
Take it easy, sis.
Before you keep going, Job, I just want to clarify. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, she hung up anyway. And man, brother, you petty. I hear you over there.
Who?
I hear him too. No, wait, look, I hear him too. Which is what I'm trying to. If y'all stop laughing for a second, I'm
just teasing.
No, you antagonize me. But I just want to clarify a point here because I'm not trying to. I'm sorry. I feel so bad that I interrupted her, but I wasn't thinking. But I just want to clarify a point. I think where a lot of us lose when we're trying to have a conversation with someone and get a point across. I think a lot of us lose them when we generalize so much. Like I didn't interrupt you when you were making the statement about you telling the young brother that if if your people had came and sold and killed his people and this, that, and the third. That's such a huge generalization. I think that the biggest thing that I dislike about the Hebrew Israelite community is that generalization that you guys make. You have no interest in finding out actual information on the numbers or the groups of people or the locations where that happened in opposition to it being something that was forced or it being a tribe or a community selling their prisoners of war or other tribes that they had issues with. Instead of you guys always saying Africans sold our people, Africans sold themselves. That was not the case, and you guys have no interest in making that clarification. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to clarify with that sister, and I'm sorry if you're still listening, sister. I didn't mean to interrupt you that way. But the truth of the matter is we look more alike than we do different. There are some areas, of course, that are usually remote that have not been as mixed up as other areas where, yeah, there are some very stark differences. But for the most part, we look the same. And if you're going to go down to an anthropological level, the measurements are almost identical. But y'all don't care about that, though.
Wouldn't it make sense that there still be Israelites there, though, even by that school of thought?
Say it again?
Yes. Yeah, there are still Israelites there, though. We never said that they're not. Say again?
Yeah, that's what
I guess I get both points, but I will say that in any religion,
no, the sister do make a point.
For that point though, it's a good point. But everybody makes generalizations at some point, you know. Argument can be made.
But when you're trying to teach somebody something, especially in terms of their belief system and some kind of truth that is supposed to propel our community and our group in this country forward, is really not a good time for you to be throwing generalizations around. That's when you want to give them the actual true information so they don't go and try to teach it to someone else, and then that person has an opportunity to turn them in a different direction because you didn't do your due diligence by giving them accurate information. At least give a disclaimer, but y'all don't.
I'll take what you said into consideration. I wouldn't say that you're wrong because every African tribe did not enslave us. So you're correct with that statement. So maybe generalizing can be changed. But as far as us
running for president or something.
He's so diplomatic right now.
Right. No, I'm not even being diplomatic. That's like no. And in all honesty, I'm not being diplomatic. But you cannot teach that every African tribe sold black people into slavery. So that point that you're making, that's correct. Now, when I say we're not African, though, that's not a generalization from our beliefs. That's just the truth from our beliefs. But as far as the slavery part, I can agree with you on that. That's not diplomatic. That's just the truth.
Are you making a minute difference between being African and being of African descent?
And she throws it back.
As far as citizens, say that one more time.
I said, you just don't like the label being called an African, or are you just completely denying your African lineage?
Yeah, I'm denying.
You personally.
Yeah, me personally, I got you. I don't follow an African lineage. I would say I'm a Shemitic lineage. I wouldn't say African is what is called today from a biblical perspective. They would be Hamitic. So from a Hamitic lineage, no, I'm not. I would say I'm a Shemitic lineage because we descend from Shem, from Abraham. So no, I wouldn't say I'm African.
So it's not necessarily a geographic situation. It's more like
no. It's not
semantic.
Right. It's not right. It's not.
It's a semantical issue. It's not. We're saying the exact same thing. You're just labeling it something different because it corresponds to your biblical teaching.
Yeah.
Now even that.
No, it's like if my father is called, and let's say your father is David. You could say if you said you come from David and I say I come from Carl, that's not semantics. That's just what it is. So that's all I'm saying is I come from Shem.
No,
They
wait.
come
That's
from
a
Ham.
bad example. If you say you come, if I say we come from, if I say we white, and David and Carl, whoever you said happen to both be white people, you say, no, I'm not white, I'm from David. It's essentially the same thing.
No. I wasn't stretching it out. What I was saying is, like, let's say if I won't use you, I won't use me. Let's take a Carl and David. So Carl becomes the progenitor of a race of people. David becomes the progenitor of a race of people. So David's children and Carl's children are not the same. They're different. Even if they got skin color that's the same, live in the same geographical location or anything, lineage-wise, when you trace David's sons or his people, it's going to go back to David. When you trace Carl's people, it's going to go back to Carl. That's all I'm saying with Ham and Shem. I'm not saying that they can't live in the same.
Can I get to this next caller, though, right quick?
But what if David and Carl have a common ancestry? Then they are of the same.
They do. Okay, so
branches.
Well, if they have a common ancestry, let's say because if we go with the Ham, Shem, and Japheth thing, they do have a common ancestry of their father Noah. Now, from a biblical perspective, we're divided because the Most High divided us as nations. That's the only reason we're divided. The only reason Ham, Shem, and Japheth are divided is because the Most High divided them and created nations from them. But they share the same father. Mm-hmm.
Did becoming an Israelite make you a better person?
Absolutely.
That's all it counts.
It changed my whole. I
agree with a lot of shit you saying, bro. Like, and a lot of people, I don't agree with a lot of shit anybody says. I know that. I disagree with a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, if it made you a better person and it made you love the people around you more and made them better, some dope shit. And I don't care if you praying to a Kit Kat.
So relative. But you know what? I hate when you say that.
I'm not a deep individual.
We've had this conversation several times when you said that, though. But the only problem, because I'm all for being the best version of you by any means necessary on any given day. The only problem I have with that, all of this teaches you to be more reliant on some other entity than you are on yourself. And that makes absolutely no sense to me as an individual, as human, that you don't have more energy in self-actualization and self-accountability and self-responsibility than you have in some creed that was passed down, changed multiple times, regurgitated incorrectly, fought over, and there's no evidence whatsoever for you to even understand where it came about in the first place. It's completely based on, you rather take something completely based on faith and live your life that way instead of taking charge of your life and understanding your own actions and behaviors are what's going to propel you towards self-actualization. If
a nigga go in a crackhead and come out a well-respected member of his community doing something for his community, I'm fucking with whatever religion that is. If a nigga go in a heroin addict and comes out clean and doing for his community, I'm fucking with you. It don't mean that I believe what you believe.
You know what?
Ideologically.
You're gonna say that now.
Everybody,
if you had a cousin that was a crackhead.
Let me finish what I'm saying, Queen. Every person at some point in their life need a crutch. And if you are one of those people that say that you got to whatever successful point in your life and you did that by yourself, stay away from me. Because the rest of us needed somebody along the way. Whether it was an actual physical person, whether it was a book, whether it was a belief system, or whatever it is, if it makes
they probably need their own. They need their show.
We do this when we're not on the show. Self-actualization doesn't mean you do everything on your own.
My bad. Hey, man, we'll get to going, man, and we'll totally forget, man, and we had a whole another conversation.
Yeah.
Let me get to this next caller, man, because I don't think I got to 1391. My bad, Opie, but we'll argue about that later.
All right, that's right.
1391, what's good, fam?
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. How you doing, Queen?
Oh.
Yep.
Okay. Peace to the host first, Joe, and I don't know all the rest of the folks there, but I do know. I mean, I follow Tazari. If I mention, I'm sorry if I can't describe your name.
Tazaryach.
I really have respect you and listen to your shows, and you probably don't have a clue who I am. My name's Toya, by the way, Enrica Jean Thomas. And my question is, first of all, I was raised the third generation Kojic seed in the black church all of my life. I also got some conscious knowledge, a little bit of it blended together. So my question, I've always wanted to ask you, because I hear you, I mean, you are like a real role model to me, the way you just be going and winning these battles, these debates. I want to ask you personally, what is the difference between the black church preachers that preach the word from a black point of view, not the Jewish point of view, and the same as or the difference between them and the Israelite ministry?
Can you say that one more time so I can get it all?
So what is the difference? Because I feel like after watching you, it's already what I somewhat kind of learn in the church, but then I be talking to Israelites and they kind of bash the black church real bad. So I just want to know, like, really, what is the difference in the learning, the philosophy, the ministry? Because it just seems like to me, and I'm reminding you, I've been forced in this way of life since I was like a 3-year-old. So I know that word. I'm not a rookie. But I'm just saying, what is the difference between the black church and the black Israelites? I also want to give respect and thank you for bringing up the relationships in the black community, because I think that is very important, and we really need to keep that at the forefront, because in order for the relationships to survive, the black families to survive, we are not going to be able to build any nations without getting that. But back to my question, and thank you.
The difference between, I guess, the Israelites and the Christian church is that the Christian church don't enforce the law, statutes, and commandments. At the beginning of the interview, I was saying, like, you have different Israelite groups, but the primary thing we have is, or the primary thing that we all agree on, is that we're the Israelites and that you have to keep the law that the Most High gave us. The Christian church will teach you that you don't have to keep the law. Now, tithes, you will have to keep that law of tithes, but you won't have to keep no other law. There's a lot of things. I almost can't even just blame the Christian church after finding out some of the stuff that I found out in the Israelite world. But you have the homosexuality and the child molestation that takes place in the Christian church, the hustle of the Christian church. Like, I remember back in 2006, there was an article that said from 1980 up until that time, the church made $420 billion. And they made all that money, but they don't trickle none of that money down into the community, which is where it's supposed to be. Like a lot of events that we have, like there's some events that we charge for, like my lectures, but then there's events that we don't charge for because you're supposed to be a service to the people. So we have food drives, like the cookout that we're having. Nobody has to pay for it. That's free. So there's things that we give back to the people. But when we give back to the people, like I'm going to spend like $2,500 on this cookout coming up. That comes out of our pocket for that. So you don't see that much of a sacrifice from the church. So the most important thing is that they don't teach about the law, which is the most important thing. And number two, they're not taking care of the people as they should. And the Christian church's background comes from the white man's version of Christianity. It's almost like if we were Judaism, like if we were following after the Jewish man, we would be the exact same thing as the Christian church, so to speak. So that would be the main differences.
There's so many different denominations. Some of them really do teach the strict law, because I grew up at my church personally. I hear what you're saying, though, about them not investing back into the black community, and that is wrong. But as far as that law, some of them do preach to death about the homosexuality and all of that. And I hear it because I was brought up in the Kojic, and we're one of the strictest churches around. Just like, they got all kinds of them, But I'm hearing what you're saying, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, like that's the main thing. Like, there's like dietary law. Like it's just, so that's the main thing. And I'm not saying that you won't find a church that teaches to keep the law. I would be ignorant if I said that, you won't find some church that teaches it. I'm basically talking about a whole from churches. You know what I mean? I grew up in the church myself. I've seen the destruction, you know what I mean, the robbery and thievery and stuff like that. So that's where I'm speaking from. So that would be the main differences. And it's an identity thing. Like if I'm not an Israelite, I would never read the Bible, ever. It would be nothing that I would be interested in because it's not for me. It's like that book is like a book that is for the Israelites and everybody just happen to grab it, and because it got some good stuff in it, they keep it and then put themselves in it or try to incorporate a prophet attached to them or something like that. But if I was not an Israelite, I would not pick up that book. Like I don't pick up the Book of the Dead. I don't pick up the Quran. I don't pick up a Buddhist book. If they have one, I don't know if these other cultures have those type of books, but I don't read those books because I'm not those people.
I mean, but wouldn't you want to read them just for information, for education? Because I feel like you can't know what you're not or what you don't agree with or believe in if you don't expose yourself to it.
When I first was introduced to the so-called conscious community and was doing the debates, I did start. I had no choice. I had to look up and read into like Kemet information and stuff like that. And I'll never take away, you know, they built pyramids, you know, they was able to design that, you know, they got some science and mathematics and all that, but I never have to read another book on Kemet again. I didn't grow, I didn't gain anything by reading. If anything, in all honesty, Kemet is like one of the most confusing, retarded cultures I've ever encountered.
Like why?
I mean,
bro?
I respect.
I
think Hinduism. I think Hinduism is better. What I mean by confusing, because like, you know, and I guess the confusion part is because if you really go into Kemet and their beliefs and all that, I don't know why anybody would get mad at Christianity with all of the dogs and Geb and Newt and all that stuff that they had, and when you know the certain rituals and stuff that they practice is far outweigh.
That's nitpicking though, bro. Cause y'all, I mean, and I'm gonna keep it a stack. When I see the videos of the Israelites in the full, you know, dress robe
garment, right? Mm-hmm. Garments is the bomb, by the way.
Before Black Panther, I'm gonna keep it a stack. I'm like, that's some weird shit.
You said, did you say before Black Panther?
Yes, yes, and I'm gonna tell you why. Go
ahead.
It made it more relatable, and now I understood.
No, it didn't.
And not even from a movie standpoint, but from a propaganda standpoint, and what visually it tells people. It made more sense to me. Why that movie was like the trigger for that, I don't freaking know. I get inspiration in the dumbest of shit. That's just me.
Right.
But it did make me understand, not necessarily all that's dope, but I get why they do it.
Well, I mean, so, I ain't talking about that. No, that's fine. But like if you take like tribal clothing and stuff like that, I ain't talking about that. I'm mainly talking about like their belief systems, like, you know, Geb with the phallus aimed at his mouth, his sister was the sky. You got to separate them, and because they together. I mean, it's weird. Like that's a weird.
But you're not gonna tell me in your studies of being an Israelite, there has not been a point during your studies where it's like in your own religion.
No, that's why I said. That's why I said. No, that's why I said. That's why I made the statement. I said, with all the different things that goes on in Kemet, I don't see why anybody would bother the Bible. I'm not saying there's not nothing in the Bible that if you tell me, well, this story occurred, would you do this? I'm going to say, no, I wouldn't do it. I'm not saying that don't exist in there. But that culture is just weird to me. It ain't got to be weird to everybody. I'm only speaking about me. Studying that culture made me never, I never want to read a Kemet book. Number one, there ain't really a Kemet book when you think about it. It's just people's writings about the Kemet book. There ain't no, the Book of the Dead is something that was, I guess, translated by Wallace Budge. I could be wrong. But there ain't no Kemetic book that you go to and whip out Like if you went out on the street and whip out, you ain't gonna whip out a Kemetic book or nothing like that. So I can't go that far. But from a culture perspective, it's one of the weirdest. That don't go for every African tribe. I'm not speaking about every African tribe. I'm only really speaking about one, which is Kemet, which is what every black person mostly goes to. It's just a weird culture for me.
If I can add something to that for anyone listening that may have gotten offended by that, I'm not Kemetic, never been. I don't necessarily have any interest in Kemetic science or history myself. But one of the elementary principles of Kemeticism is that the different gods and entities of Kemeticism stand for some kind of natural phenomena or position. So it's not that it's just this confusing, creed or spiritual system. It's because they made it a point to separate different forces of nature. And so that's how the individual stories came about. So it's not that it's a ridiculous or stupid or unreasonable thing to understand, because before there was organized religion, before there was an organized spiritual system, there was the understanding and the respect for nature. And that is what Kemeticism is rooted in.
That was dope. Up a bump for that.
What you say?
Just saying, if we're not gonna bash Christians and Hebrew Israelites, we're also not gonna bash Kemetic.
I didn't think I was bashed. I just said it was confusing for me.
No, I'm not. That wasn't even targeted.
Oh, okay, no sir.
Job makes it a point to let guests know that we don't disrespect other, religions and spiritual.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Just in case anyone needs it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. I appreciate it.
I told you I'm not antagonizing you today. I'm not bothering you today.
Oh man, the love is in the air. I should be playing some Isley Brothers or something. So what are y'all serving at the cookout though? I know that's pretty ignorant. My apologies, but our brother eats.
Can I come through to the cookout?
Ooh.
Yeah,
security.
You can come through to the cookout.
You go like security.
Come on to the cookout.
I can come to the cookout for real, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there.
Mm-hmm. It's in Harlem. It's August the 4th. We have everything. We're gonna have I think veggie food. We're gonna have burgers. Typical black folk stuff at a cookout. Might have some lamb, some jerk chicken or something like that.
I thought y'all was gonna do like the whole vegan spread. I'm like, yeah.
No, we ain't doing no. Listen, I love flesh, so I always eat flesh. Sorry.
And I know that was somebody. I don't know. It was a 51 something number. I don't know if you're trying to get on air or not, but you got to press 1. And I got a question in the inbox. Actually, oh yeah, that is 516. So we'll get to the question in the inbox for a second. Let's get to 0203. Unless I cut you off, bro. And if I did, I didn't mean to. I got that bad though, man. I need to go to like some cut people off anonymous or something. Hold on one second. 0203. What's good, fam?
Peace and power, shalom. Empress Sekhmet in the building. Y'all already know what it is.
Oh, wait. Can we get a black power, black motherfucking power?
You can do it if you feel like it. How y'all feel?
How you doing, Queen?
I'm good to go. How you doing?
I'm good. Y'all feel me? Y'all can hear me well? I'm driving.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to come and just show. I'm good. I wanted to come and just show some respect to the brother Captain Tazaryach. Shalom to you, my brother.
Hey, shalom. How you doing?
To all you, no doubt to all you on the panel, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Y'all know we family over here. It's my skin is my sin.
No doubt.
I wanted to chime in quickly, especially when we're talking about dealing with building with each other collectively, having different ideologies. Nobody asked Polo what God he served and we paying thousands of dollars to put Polo name on our back. Nobody has nobody ever declines to eat a chicken wing from a Chinese restaurant when they serve Buddha all day. Nobody asks that, and we give our money to them. Nobody ever asks, I don't believe in Allah, so I can't eat this bean pie. We never do that. So why, when it talks about black liberation or healing the black family, we begin to try to figure out, we don't serve the same or we don't believe the same, so that's a problem. That shouldn't be a problem. Black liberation should be what it's about, regardless of the ideology or the cosmology that we subscribe to. We should never hinder ourselves as a people just because of what we believe in or what we don't believe in. Now, when we're talking about all these other ideologies that the black community has grasped onto, because we're always searching for something, right? So we have a lot of people that came out of the Christian church, and they connected themselves to Kemet because they're trying to replace it with something. And then they don't. Then they want to say it's not a religion, but yes, it is a religion. If you're replacing it with your Christianity and you're idolizing it, just like you did white baby Jesus, then it is your religion. So I think that no doubt. I think there's a misnomer when it comes down to it's not that serious, fam. Chill out. Pardon me, y'all. I'm driving, but I think that I think that we need to really begin to look at it in a different way, with more of a compassionate heart, with more of an open mind, and more of a collective spirit when we're talking about and healing the trauma that the black family, black children, black women, and black men are going through, and a lot of it has been done through the system of white supremacy. And nobody talking. That's the truth to me. I think that how is it not idol worship when you're spending $500 and $600 for a pocketbook that has the white man?
Yeah, your phone's starting to break up there.
Name on it.
Yeah, you went to
how is that not
Zach Slater's phone right quick. Is it Slater? Oh,
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Captain, you still there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Make sure we ain't lose you, King.
How can you not
just
see? What I'm saying is to our people, and go ahead. I just wanted to say to our people, how do we not?
Captain Tazaryach.
No, I'm still here.
No doubt. Please don't lose the captain.
No, I'm still here.
I definitely want our people to see or to feel, how is it not something that's an idol worship outside of what you believe in if you're paying $1,000 course bag? You see what I'm saying? And the first thing that in this comedic or this conscious community, however you want to put it, we say that we're against homosexuality, but you'll pay $1,000 to wear a bag with a white faggot name on it. Come on now, who are we supporting? Who are we really trying to lift up? Who are we really trying to build up? So I think that the brothers of ISUPK are doing a great work. I think that Captain Tazaryach addressing child molestation, addressing the cure to the black family is something that we need to talk about. We don't have to talk. We've talked about the tombs enough. How long are we going to keep talking about what the fuck was in a tomb? It's time for us to talk about what we need to do to fix each other right now. And I think
our relationship's been in the tombs.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what the brothers of ISUPK are doing. Universal practical knowledge is what our people need. And I just want to big up the brothers for doing that. Big up my brother, Captain Tazaryach. I will be in the building. Whatever I could do to support, to help in any way, I'm there. So I just want our people to try to use a different kind of lens, try to use a different kind of eye when we're talking about black liberation and healing the black family. And let's support the people. Let's support the people that's really doing the work, just not trying to collect a check.
Thanks.
Right.
Agree.
So let me that,
I appreciate
very
that
dope,
too.
Queen.
No doubt. Always here, y'all.
Definitely appreciate you calling up too. We got about 20 minutes left, and we do have one more person in the queue, and I wanted to read the question out of the inbox too, if y'all don't mind.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
And Ron wanted me to ask about the racism in Israel to the Black Hebrews and your thoughts on that.
When I was in Israel, okay, the only thing I'm gonna say, Israel, like I actually went to Israel last year, and it's hell for a black person to get into Israel. Well, I shouldn't say hell, but you basically got to like go through some citizenship through the Israeli government or something like that. I used to be super conflicted about living in Israel. I'm not anymore. I actually would go back if I had the opportunity to live there. I probably would, but you don't experience. At least I was only there for like I think 12 days. It was like 14 total, but between the flight and jet lag and all that, I think I was there like maybe 12 days. I didn't experience the closest. Okay, I'll tell y'all the funniest shit. The closest I ever experienced to racism was one day me, my rib, the brothers that took me to see like the Dead Sea and stuff like that. We was hungry, so we go to this restaurant. When we get into the restaurant, they sit us down and everything, no problem. They serving us, no fuss, no muss and everything. And next thing you know, Brenda's Got a Baby by Tupac just comes on the radio, just comes on the restaurant. Yo, I tell you, and it felt like, I don't even know if I took that as necessarily racist. It was like, oh, we got black people in here. What can we play? And they must have just YouTubed Tupac, and that was the first song that came on the radio on the thing. Can you imagine, like the last song I would ever think would be playing in a bar, but not even a bar, it was like a restaurant with white people, is Brenda's Got a Baby. Brenda, that's
shout out to Tupac.
But they were trying to make y'all feel comfortable, though.
Right. Because it didn't stop with that one. I forget the other songs that they was playing, but they were black songs. They played black songs the whole time we was in there. But the fact that they started with Brenda's Got a Baby, that will forever resonate. And we all just looked at each other and just started laughing. But as far as like anything else, I mean, outside of having to see white people run the country that I believe is ours, I didn't experience I didn't experience the racism over there. I did not experience that. But I didn't like seeing them be in charge of where I could go, where I can't go. So it's almost like a different form of oppression, if you want to call it that, because I look at that as my homeland. From the brothers that I spoke to out there, visiting Demona and stuff like that, I can't necessarily say that, but they do make it hard. Like I didn't go through, I know like the Africans that wanted to get in there and they kept them as refugees and stuff like that. I never really experienced that. But the only thing that I will say is that until we can rule that land, that's the closest you're going to get. If we're not ruling that land, all you're ever going to be is a second, maybe even third class citizen in that country. That's it. Now, I would rather they all die. I'm talking about the white people. I would just rather they all die so we can rule it. That's the only way that, or to change another guard where we rule. But I don't like it. But it ain't as far as oppressive over here as it is. It's less oppressive over there than it is over here. I didn't experience any oppression over there at all.
That's interesting.
I don't know if there's a part two to that question.
No, I think that was it. We got one more caller, and caller, you got to be brief because we only got about 15 minutes. And before we do that, what's the sister name with Shanika Yates we got coming on Thursday. Next week we doing Black Business Buzz, and geez, I cannot remember the brother's name. When I remember it, I do apologize.
The socialist homosexual brother?
That brother. What was his name? Gazi Kozo. That should be an interesting conversation. I think he is on the show 2 weeks from now.
It's gonna be interesting.
That is gonna be interesting. And you know me, like I as long as you're respectful, I can chop it up with you. I don't really care. You know, the only way that I'm gonna learn something or get better, or at least be able to move around certain topics, is to have a dialogue with somebody. You know, at least in our community. You know, other than that, true. You know, and I'm a simple person, man. You know, we got to start saying hello to each other. Like all the other extra shit and all these super ideologies and whatever you believe in, that's cool, that's dope, and I love you. But say hello to motherfuckers that ain't on the same shit that you on. Maybe they'll change. Anyway, let me get off my soapbox. And tell the people one more time where they can get tickets, man, for the lecture series too. And I'm sorry that we didn't get too much on it, but we can go overtime.
No, that was fine.
Gotta be in the
that's fine. I actually enjoyed the interview a lot. They can go right to Eventbrite if you just search the Miseducation series or House Divided. Eventbrite.com. You can get the tickets now. Like I said, the live stream for it will be available by the end of this week here. It's August 5th at my school, 2279 3rd Avenue, Harlem, New York. The same prices in it, whether you buy them in advance or whether you buy them at the door, it's the same price, $20. It'll be at 2 p.m. The lecture usually is about 90 minutes, and then we like to spend a lot of time on the Q&A. So that's how the show is going to go.
Very dope.
And then we have our cookout August the 4th. Cookout August the 4th in Marcus Garvey Park, 12 p.m. to about maybe 6 or 7 or something like that. It's open to the public, so anybody could come in and get down with us.
No doubt. And if you do know any black business owners, like I said, a week from Thursday we do Black Business Buzz. If they want to call up and promote whatever product they got, they can. We ain't charging you shit.
Oh, okay.
You get at least 60 seconds to do your own little commercial for your brand, your product, your service, whatever it is.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
And let me get to 4499. And remember, we got to be brief. I do like to play a couple of joints, too. Man, I had one song. I can't remember the name of it. I hope I ain't erase it. Hold on one second. What's good, fam? 4499. Hello. What's good, fam? Yeah, you sound like you in the apocalypse, bro. You all right?
Yeah, I'm at the slavery right now, man. My bad. I apologize for that.
My bad.
I'm in my slavery right now. I was just calling in just to support Cap. That's it, man. I ain't had no questions or nothing like that. I just want to know what y'all was talking about.
I appreciate it, man.
Matter of fact, Cap, I still didn't get that lecture from you that you were supposed to send in my email.
Which one?
How to show your man.
Oh, I got you. Hey, text me my number. You got my number, right?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, text me. I'll lock you in. I'll send it to you.
I'm going to text you right now.
All right,
no doubt. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel too, King. My Skin is My Sin.
All right, what is it? I'm going to do it right now.
My Skin is My Sin.
My Skin is My Sin. I got you, bro.
Yep. It's us and Ice Cube. That's all that come up. No doubt. Salute.
All right, for sure. Shalom.
Appreciate you.
All right, shalom, brother. Appreciate you calling in.
No doubt. I definitely appreciate you calling up too, man. Definitely appreciate your time and your wisdom. Oh, and hold on, let me get Knowledge Born Allah in on the call right quick.
Oh, that's my man right there.
That's my fam right there, man. I know. Hold on one second.
I love knowledge.
Oh my goodness. Oh, stop it.
Love me.
Yeah, I love knowledge. What's good, bro?
What's going on? Hey, Shalom, Cap. Hey, Shalom.
Hey, what's going on? Shalom, what's going on?
Hey, I just wanted to say a quick story, but I wanted to ask a question. The people who know me wouldn't know me if it wasn't for Captain Tazaryach. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when I got on Facebook, the first person I looked for on Facebook was Captain Tazaryach. That debate, I can even go back as far as the weigh-in, but that classic Summer Jam scream moment in the debate when Polite did the victory lap around, he did the victory lap, he paraded around one of his wives and all of that. And Cat, when you was like, anybody, you know what you said, I ain't got to go back to it. I said, y'all got to find this brother.
I appreciate it.
I got to find this brother, and I believe the first message I hit you with was like, yo, do you do lectures? How much do you charge for a lecture or presentation? I think that was our first conversation. So after that, I've seen it progress. And, from that time, the debates was cool, but as far as the stance of ISUPK being uncompromising and unapologetic for the black family, how has the approach, I could say the approach changed, and how has your approach changed over that period of time since you've been in the truth?
I think because I'm an Israelite, I think when we was talking at the beginning of this conversation, they were saying, like, you change your demeanor, whatever. There's a certain perception that comes with Israelites, yelling, screaming, extremists, etc., like that. So what I guess the reason why people, at least on this show here, has been saying it's a difference is because I wanted to change that narrative, so to speak, to make it be more approachable to where, everybody knows my stance as an Israelite, but they need to know, okay, how do they feel about children? How do they feel about the woman? How do they feel about the man? How do they feel about integration or, with homosexuality, any topic that's affecting black people. So I've just started making myself, I guess, be more approachable, so anybody could walk up to me, talk to me. Like when you call a New York number, it comes to my phone. I'll talk to anybody that calls or deal with anybody on the street. So I guess I try to change the approach that way. So it would help two things. It would let my lectures be successful, and it would show people that, okay, the Israelites ain't as crazy as I think they are, or the Israelites ain't like this. So I guess I'm going to have to give it up to the brother when they say like maturity, if you want to call it that, or growth, whichever one you want to call it, or adjusting. Any one of them words would fit, whether it's adjusting to the audience that you're trying to reach. So I can't, I don't think you could beat the Bible down people's neck. I'm not one of them. I think that my window to talk about the Bible will show. So when I have the opportunity to talk about the Bible, I will. But up until that point, if I got to talk about the NBA, I remember I talked to a brother about the NBA for like maybe a half hour, 45 minutes before we ever talked about the Bible. And so I'll do that. If I got to talk about hip-hop, I know hip-hop. If I got to talk about movies, the scriptures say, if by any means I may provoke the emulation of them which are my flesh. So what I learned was, like, I give an example, right? You have shalom, like how we say shalom, right?
Right.
So you got some people that say shalom. They don't say shalom. So most people, when you say the term shalom to them, the people that say shalom make it their business to say it's not shalom, it's shalom. And so now, whereas you can have a conversation that's about growth, now you're about to debate two words that really don't mean shit, really. So what I learned is if he want to say that word or I want to say this word, it's small on my bigger picture. If my bigger picture is to get that brother to listen to me, I ain't got to care about frivolous things. That's why I was telling y'all earlier, as long as I'm not breaking the commandment of God, it doesn't matter how I interact with an individual. And so frivolous debates we got to kind of get rid of. So that's why I'm using something like shalom and shalom, because that's frivolous. If a brother don't know, he just don't know. If he's saying it, he's saying it. I don't care about that. What I care about is what comes after that. So those are the things that I started applying, so that way I could make myself more attractive to the people that listen to us the most, which is black people. We owe it. Like, if you're going to put yourself on the front lines, you owe it as your responsibility to lead the people correctly and show them something different than what everybody else is doing. So I believe that I consistently show people something different than what everybody else is doing. And so that's what I always do.
See, now I would come to the cookout. Before, I was having visions like, I'm trying to eat a hamburger and somebody screaming at me. Like, no, bro.
No, man.
Y'all people.
That's the time where you probably gonna think you ain't gonna know where you at, because like the cookouts be like, you're gonna see us drinking, cracking jokes, laughing, having fun. Like, that's a break. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's a real family. You're gonna see families there, children there, and it's gonna be a good time.
That's a beautiful thing right there, man. That honestly, I don't think we as a people do enough. And sometimes I think we, it's overkill with certain things, but in certain instances, it's just good to just be able to build with people and just chill and enjoy yourself. That's always a dope thing. And I think that's what we try to do here.
Mm-hmm.
We ask a couple of questions, but typically it's just a conversation and it goes where it goes.
Right. And I think that's the most important thing. Like, you gotta pick and choose what you gotta do. You gotta be strategic. You gotta see it. You know what I mean? So I just try to see it 10 steps ahead. Like Styles P, one of my favorite rappers, when he said, I'm 10 steps ahead of Negroes shooting backwards just for practice. So I try to be 10 steps ahead of everything.
That makes sense. I can agree with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Even the simplest things, people don't realize, like just a simple ass post that you put on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
In 10 years, that shit might not be Facebook. Simple.
Right. I actually deleted my Facebook. That shit dead.
Why you do that?
Because I think I got sick of like Facebook, like that internet. I love the internet and I hate it, because like the internet is something that, of course, a lot of the information that we have access to is because of that internet. But that internet births some of the most irrelevant people to become relevant. You can say anything for attention. It almost forces you to say something every day so people could talk to you and stuff like that. And I would see stuff on there. Like, I used to be like, I would see stuff on there and I would want to say something like, why are you doing it? And I got too caught up in that. And it was just better for me to just not be on Facebook anymore. And when I seen they had that, and actually last year I had got off of Facebook for like 6 months. But you only had the deactivation option. And I think like 3 weeks ago or something like that, I seen that you could actually delete it, and after 14 days it's just gone. So I just did it. Yeah,
I don't know
if
if my page can do that though, man. Like it would build up too much. Like social media is my being petty release. So
yeah,
it
actually relieved me. Yeah, it actually freed up. It actually freed up my brain a little bit. You know what I mean? So I don't know, that Facebook, man, it just breeds people to just be important for no reason, and then you be caught up for like an hour or two. I remember my rib told me one time, she said, I never see you, she said, I never see you caught up on that. But one day I was like on there back and forth for like 3 hours. And that ain't really my vibe. So it just drove me away. And when I was off of it last year, I was better. Like, that's when I felt like I was maturing the most. And then when I got back on, I just didn't like it. So I just said, I don't need it. And that was that. So I just got off.
And if you are not in the queue, the show will end in about 1 minute. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. My Skin Is My Sin. Go check out.
I subscribe to it too.
Oh, that's dope. KMLportraits.com. The website myskinismysin.com. Designs by Monet. MRochelle.com. Make sure you go check out the lecture series, the